Welcome to another episode of I Wonder, Doctor.
Let's continue with digestion and talk about what can go wrong in the small intestine.
Okay, on this journey so far, we started at the mouth, right? Chewing. Then we went to the stomach. And then the last thing you were talking about is the upper small intestine. Is that right?
Exactly. And that's where I'd like to pick that up and describe to you the very next thing in detail.
Yeah.
And I want to zero in on this chyme, this bolus of food and its mixture of pancreatic enzymes and bile.
Yeah.
And I want to actually pretend we're going to examine it under a super microscope. And let's look at the protein element of that bolus of food. And really what that is a complex of amino acids linked together by biochemical bonds.
Yeah.
And what excellent digestion does is it breaks up those bonds and leaves you with these teeny tiny amino acids. And what are they confronting? The lining of the intestine, which consists of cells. So I'd like to illustrate that by drawing these cells. And then notice that there's spaces between these cells. And they're tiny spaces.
Yeah.
And they're just the perfect size for a fully digested protein down to its amino acids to slip right on through. And what does it slip into? The bloodstream. And it's distributed to the whole body.
So this is the end of digestion. We've taken that food and we've crushed it to the point where it's small enough to fit through those small openings.
Crushed includes digestion and
Yeah.
a lot of factors, of course.
Right.
Now, we've already discussed that there's things that can go wrong with digestion. And here's would be the example. Instead of fully digesting this protein molecule, we partially digested. Well, we've got two little amino acids and they easily slip through.
Yeah.
But we've got this one that didn't disconnect. As that tries to make it through that intercellular space, it gets stuck. It's too big. Well, the body wants to address this abnormality. And what it does is immune factors come out of the bloodstream and attach themselves in complete digestion of that partially digested amino acid complex. Now, that's the immune system finishing off digestion for you.
Yeah.
And if a lot of that goes on, and there's other causes as well, such as infections that we're going to talk about later, you got actual inflammation taking place in the intestinal lining. And what that can do is it can widen these narrow spaces between cells. And what that can lead to is these partially digested protein moieties slipping through into the bloodstream.
That does not sound good.
And it's unacceptable as well.
Yeah.
And a similar process takes place. Some kind of immune factor will attach itself to that partially digested protein moiety and complete digestion. Well, what you're doing is you're using your immune system to finish off digestion. And that's got a couple problems associated with it because we don't want to tie up the immune system that way. We want the immune system to be fully available for viruses and aberrant cells that can be produced. And then also, partially digested food, what's going to happen? Your body's going to register, gee, I didn't get enough protein, and you're going to have to graze through more calories. So people, again, who have to mind their weight and their food intake are going to be left with hunger if they don't fully digest those amino acids all the way down. And the immune system part of it leads to something called the widening of the spaces. It's called leaky gut. We're going to cover this because it's a very important topic. It's the topic of food allergies, and it's the doorway to understanding autoimmune illnesses. Oh my goodness, it's a big topic.
Yeah.
And then, what do we do about all this? Well, the good news is it's that simple list of we choose natural foods that are easy to process. We don't subject them to harsh processing methods such as manufacturing processes or even pasteurization, which is too intense energy to hit proteins with, and they get abnormal configurations. We can boil or steam our vegetables, and yet when we go to bake or broil, these temperatures are so high it can alter the protein molecules again.
Right. Water can't get above 212 degrees.
That's right.
So boiling can't
okay.
get hotter than that.
But frying can get a lot hotter than that.
Yeah, right.
And then it's the good old eat a small meal, a meal for which you have sufficient digestive juices. Eat more frequently and more snacks if you need to, just to cover your whole caloric need over a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Eat slowly. Chew. Chew, chew. And for many, it's going to be supplement digestive enzymes and betaine hydrochloride, which is hydrochloric acid.
These are things I could buy like at maybe a grocery store or a health food store.
Well, again, we'd like to help you find the highest quality because there's a ton of products out there, and some are just not the quality that's going to work for you to spend your money in.
Yeah, right.
So we'll teach you how to find the right ones. As far as digestive enzymes go, we want a mixture of the pancreatic enzymes. And they can be either from vegetable base or animal sources. I like them both. And then for the hydrochloric acid, we want betaine hydrochloride with pepsin, which is a proteolytic enzyme that's linked up with the betaine hydrochloride. We'll teach you how to take them, where to get them.
And you said many people need these. Isn't the basic answer pretty much everybody over 40? I mean, isn't this, we're all,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those with autoimmune illnesses, with food reactivities, food allergies, they really need them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because most adults do not have sufficient digestive enzymes, the amounts that we had when we were teenagers, and we don't have sufficient hydrochloric acid. So to live a long and robust life in which we're getting all the nutrients we need, and we're able to walk and talk and play in our 80s, 90s, and 100s, absolutely, digesting food is a wonderful thing to do.
That makes sense. Thanks.